Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Rachel O'Leary and it's time for a species spotlight. If you're new here, I do one of these videos every Sunday, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. This week we're going to talk about a super cool little catfish, and you may notice that the lights are out in the fish room, and that's because these guys are very nocturnal and good at hiding. Centromochlus, perugiae, or the honeycomb or oil catfish are absolutely fascinating for quite a few reasons. One of which is how they breed, another is their behavior, but they are absolutely fun to feed and keep. So let's take a look and I'll tell you more about them. These guys are called the honeycomb catfish, and you can tell by their patterning why that is. At max size, they're just over 2 inches. And these guys come from both Peru and Ecuador. And they're a surface feeder generally, but heavily nocturnal. So during the day, you're not going to see a whole lot of them. They are interesting for quite a few reasons. Not only are they absolutely adorable and gorgeous, but they can take a wide range of pH. In fact, in their collection zone, it can range all the way from 5 all the way up to 9. They can take a temperature range of 24 to 30 degrees Celsius or 75 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. I find that they generally do best in the high 70s, close to 80. They are a clear water fish, and they are known for absolutely being able to hide in any nook and cranny. They'll wedge themselves in there. Now their pectoral fins, these right here, are extremely serrated and sharp, so it's especially important that you're super careful when handling or netting them. In fact, I prefer to hand catch these guys for that reason. Now, what I find most fascinating about these guys, and what I hope that they'll cooperate with, is that their sexual dimorphism isn't in color, but the males have a modified anal fin that's shaped like a gonopodium, like a live bear, and you can see that on this fish here. That fin right there is very pointed, and that means this is a male. On the females, that fin is very fan-shaped. Now these guys breed through internal fertilization just like a guppy or other live bearer. However, the females lay eggs, and another unusual thing about this particular species of Centromochlus is that they generally lay them in cave-like structures, and that's because in the wild they come from areas with lots of boulders, clear, fast-moving water, and no real aquatic plants or wood. Now in the home aquarium, you can use things like PVC pipe, you can use driftwood, or you can use those pleco caves. Generally, the male will fertilize the female, she'll go into a cave, and she'll lay her eggs where she guards them until they hatch. It takes about 6 days or so for the fry to become free swimming, and the eggs of these guys are absolutely huge. They're 4mm eggs, and they look almost like frog eggs. Very large eggs. And these guys, if you feed them properly and house them properly, are very readily breedable. Now, part of feeding them is that they need a very meaty diet. In the wild, they feed at insects at the surface of the water. But in the home aquarium, they'll readily take dried or frozen foods that stay at the surface. Now, it's best with these guys to feed them when the lights are out, because they will actually go until almost starving before they eat, because they're so light sensitive. Believe it or not, there are 20 of these guys in this aquarium, and we're only seeing one because they're such a master of disguise and hiding. That being said, I don't think there is much more rewarding than seeing them all swarm the surface like angry little bees to eat foods when they're dropped in. I have put some frozen Daphnia in this aquarium to try and entice them out, and we'll see if it works, but because the lights are on now for you guys to see them, it's entirely doubtful that we'll see that cool behavior. However, if you follow me on Facebook, I am often going live, and I'm going to try and capture these guys feeding for you. For now, I'm going to lift up this piece of wood, and we'll see if anybody comes out to play. You can see, because I've taken away their hiding spot, they're sort of dog-piling together back here by the sponge filter. One trick that some breeders do is when they're raising up the young of these, they use the sponge filters that have all the ridges in them, because the babies will hide all along those ridges. The juveniles of these guys really hate to be near the bottom. They prefer to be up near the surface. So it's good to offer them either plants or structures that allow them to hide off the bottom of the aquarium. When stocking an aquarium with these guys, a South American biotope style aquarium is really best. Things like loricarids, like Odosynclus, small cories, small tetras, and fish similar to that are best. These guys do not care if they are single or in groups, though I must admit there is nothing more fun than a large group of these acting clownish during feeding time. All in all, they're a really fascinating fish. I like to call them the compromise between hobbyists. If you have a partner or spouse that really likes the live bears, but you really like the egg layers, these guys are the perfect mix of the two. They are definitely a fish dorks fish in that they are a bit shy and not very visible, but they are absolutely gorgeous, rewarding, beautiful little fish to keep. Now, as far as tank size, I really think you can keep a small group of these in a 10-gallon quite easily. As I mentioned, they don't move around a whole lot, but they still need some space. And the biggest thing with these guys is water quality. They come from very clear, very clean water. When you're trying to condition them to spawn, you'll want to feed them really heavily. The females get so fat, they look like they've swallowed a stone or a marble. It's really pretty cool. But the biggest problem when you feed fish so heavily is your water quality, and because of that reason, you know, a bigger tank is always better because dilution really helps your efforts. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing a species that's very near and dear to my heart. I hope to be having some similar species to show you guys in the future. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. I hope to talk to you guys this week about feeding some of these interesting catfish. As always, your donations really help me out, so thank you guys very much. And if you want to see more about my day-to-day life and goings-on in the fish room, make sure you stop by my Instagram and my Facebook. Also, don't forget to stop by my website, MsJinx.com, where you can see my upcoming speaking engagements, my current stock list, and information on all things nano.